Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Strip by Sia, your podcast for strippers, sex workers, and all the fancy naked people in between. I am your host, Steph Sia, aka Sia, aka Kimchi. I have a lot of different names that people refer to me as, and I am the host of the show. I bring on different guests every single week, and we cover all different facets of the sex industry, and with the main goal of destigmatizing sex work. So anything to do with any type of guest relating to the sex industry. So whether you're a cam girl, or maybe you're a sugar baby, or maybe you are like a live streamer, or maybe like you're a producer behind the scenes, I really try my best in covering it all as much as I can so we can really get the lived experiences of sex workers, and for that to paint a really, really accurate depiction of what we are really like, because our work is super legitimate and we just need more people to understand that. So enough of me rambling on. I'm really, really excited to have this week's guest on, and we're going to be talking about like a plethora of things today. So I'm bringing on a male full-service companion based in, I think, Toronto, Ontario, which is great.
That's right.
Yes, got to support our fellow Canadians. I'm based in Vancouver on the West Coast here. So you're probably wondering who this mysterious, sexy voice is. And we have the voice and the pleasure of welcoming on Mr. Malcolm Lovejoy onto the show. Malcolm, are you there?
I am right here for you all day, every day.
All day, every day. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Steph. Yeah. Oh yes. I mean, as we do this wonderful redefining society, I don't even know if the term nymphomaniac is appropriate in these days, but I feel like one. And yeah, I've got so much love and energy and passion to give. Hello, happy to be here.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Well, you are a love machine, Mr. Lovejoy. We are so excited to have you onto the show today. So excited. I briefly started following you on Twitter not too long ago, and I was like, this person has some cool things to say, and we share some cool opinions as well. So I get my guests from so many different areas, from the internet, from real life, from friends of friends, from past guests, from recommendations, all over. A lot of it is just curated. I really try to bring on people that I think can provide different perspectives, and also can help really explain and articulate different parts of our industry. So I'm really excited to kind of dive in today with you. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a Black sex worker, specifically in full service capacity, as well as your history and your role with the music industry, and also with journalism. We're going to be talking about that, how they intersect, and we're going to try to combat some stereotypes that Black sex workers and Black male sex workers would face, and also going into your specific type of services that you offer, and even going into, I think, love coaching and relationship therapy, art, music. It's going to be great. Like, I am super jazzed to have this conversation with you.
It.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited that you have the capacity to hear and accept and have a platform and a space for all these things, because not everybody is capable of being aware of all the things that sex workers can offer. And I am a person that has a diversity of energy and a diversity of history and experiences. So I have a lot to give, and I'm so happy. I'll answer all these questions. Absolutely all of them. Let's do it. This is great.
Perfect. We're going to try to get through it all today. I'm sure we can. I definitely have much confidence that we're going to just get through everything today and just have a blast. I'm really, really excited just because I had some feedback from one of my listeners, and they said that I needed more male representation on the show. So I've been, yeah.
Happy to be that. I very much. I actually I have a term. I have a few things. I walk a very interesting path being myself. I don't find too many other people. There's not many male porn stars or sex workers that I get to work with or get to learn from. I'm not completely self-taught, but a lot of it is just trial and error and going from my heart and my instincts and just general respect for human beings. But I'm saying all that to say, a term I came up with myself is masculine feminist. And
Oh.
yeah, I don't say it too much because the idea of feminism is complicated, but I'm just like I do think of myself as a masculine feminist. And
Okay.
yeah. So just throwing that
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, for sure. Like how would you define that? Like what does that mean to you? And if you want to explain that to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much a feminist in as much as I love and respect the mind, body, and soul and life desires of half of the planet, essentially. 50% of the population are women identified, female. So I'm like, yo, that's half the planet. I'm not like men are dominant, men are smarter, better, whatever. Like a lot of men think that, whether they want to admit it or not. And
For
we
sure.
live in a world that supports that. I'm like peg the patriarchy all day. Like Luna
Yes.
Matata is one of my friends. But anyway, like I just try to love and respect and work with women. It's like it doesn't have to be sexual. It's like intellectual, economic, social. I have a variety of women friends and co-workers that I build with in sex work, in journalism, and music, and I just see, I'm like, women do see the world in a different way. Like that's like we all do. Like there's lots of men I see different from, but like
For sure.
there's like a certain like a magical difference. Like a lot of my intimate, I'm like, yo, I just like you have different internal organs and different everything. Like
Yeah.
you experience life in another level than me. So
For sure.
so I'm just saying, I love and respect the differences, but I also try to like be who I am, and I'm like loving, giving. Like I've got this dick between my legs, and I've got these hands, and I've got I'm in this body, so like I give to the world, and I give to whoever I connect to. To be honest, it's
For
men,
sure.
women, trans, non-binary, so whoever I
Absolutely.
connect to. But
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. I'm excited to dig more into that later on in the episode. We're going to be talking about a bit about masculinity, what that means to you, and connection and love and all that stuff. So, but before we get started, we kind of need to start at the beginning. So, I only know a little bit of what I've researched online about yourself. So, I know that you've been in the music industry since '97. You've been in journalism since 2002 and the adult industry for the past 7 or so years. So maybe if you want to start chronologically with your role in the music industry, or like at least maybe define who you are, because I feel like I only know like I just know the surface of who you are. But if you want to go into that first and then go into your history, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of people know me as the hip hop MC, hip hop like kind of Renaissance man, energy ball, like producer, host, writer, mindbender supreme, and that's who I've been in hip hop. That's who I still am. I haven't retired as mindbender, but it's not the center of my kind of social and personal identity as much. But anyways, I'll start talking about my hip hop life.
Sure.
I started at 13, and I'm saying I started at 13 because that's the moment that I thought to myself, wow, a musician is the best job in the world because he gets to tour every night and go to a new city and play music to a new audience and have sex with the person that loves like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll groupie lifestyle. I'm like, that's the best, a new woman every night. So like, I got into music because of the sex, and like that's like my childhood. That's just a confession. As a child, that's why I got into it.
Love it.
And then after that, after like my second and third revelations are like, oh yeah, you can like give like social conscious messages, and you can put like wisdom in your music, and you can be clever and witty and smart. But like my motivation was sex. So,
Truth be told.
truth be told, totally. But the thing is, I'm like a nerdy, geeky. I love cartoons and anime, and I love literature and stuff. So I wasn't that sexual of a musician. My name was Mindbender Supreme, and I had some sexy songs, but they weren't like raw. It was very poetic and lyrical, and
Oh
so
wow.
I didn't have this like very sexy music career. It was pretty just independent underground hip hop, very like cerebral.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a good run. Um,
Yeah.
10, 15 years, put out music, it was good. And then I
So
just didn't
cool.
like how the sorry.
Oh no, that's really cool. Continue.
Yeah, it was a good life. I made a bunch of albums. I have a identical brother, and we made some albums together too. And I toured New York. I toured Canada. I performed in New York. I performed in LA. I did some various things. And then I got really frustrated with the way the media, hip hop was growing, and I got
Mm,
frustrated with the media and how they would talk about hip hop. I'm like,
right.
these people don't understand musicians. So I'm a musician and I can write. Let me just do this. So I just reached out to Now Magazine and I was like, let me start writing for you. And somebody
Wow.
was like, okay. And
Cool.
now it's like the weekly, kind of like the Village Voice of Toronto. And
Okay.
so it's like, yeah, it's the weekly independent arts magazine. So I started doing music reviews and just continued writing and writing and writing. And 10 years later, I'd been a music journalist and I'd interviewed Nas and Kanye West and
Cool.
half of the Wu-Tang Clan, and like Nas's baby mom, and
Wow.
like like all these various things. So yeah, I was doing journalism too, and having fun with it. And then,
Cool.
yeah, it was good. It was good. And I was doing some social activism as well with my journalism,
Mhm.
and just writing about injustices and sexual injustice, racial injustice, just problems in economic injustice.
Mhm.
And then I was like, sexual injustice is really horrible. I found out that the police rate for actually jailing rapists and abusers is 2%. Like that, like
Oh
rapists never go
wow.
to jail.
Oh my
It's horrible.
god.
It's horrible. Like rapists never go to jail. Abusers never get arrested or go to jail barely. So I started
Yeah.
writing about these things, and I started studying it. And after a while, I'd gone to Slut Walk and
Mhm.
everything to do with sex show and sexapalooza, and I supported all this sexual independent stuff, and then I was like, why am I not doing sex work?
Yeah,
I should,
totally.
I'm like writing about it, I'm supporting it, I'm going to marches, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm like, why am I not a porn activist? Why am I not doing sex? I'm
Yeah.
doing this. So like I was like in my early 30s, and I was just like, I'm diving in. I'm gonna put my body where my mouth is.
I love that.
Yeah. So I just decided to cross the line and just be like, okay. So I'm like, I'm gonna offer myself, and I honestly think it was the best single decision I've ever made in my life, ever, to become a sex
Wow.
worker for me
Yes.
in my journey. So yeah, I've been doing it for about 8 years now, and
Amazing.
it's just been mostly magnificent.
Mostly magnificent. Oh wow, I can't wait to get into all that. I mean, your career history sounds so amazing and like so varied too. And I just love how it was like an evolution. I feel like you're just hopping from here to here, career to career.
Well,
And
you're absolutely right. You're
yeah.
absolutely right. And like the next evolution for me is like movie director, and we'll get into that later.
Oh,
But
yeah. Can't
yeah,
wait to talk
that's
about
like the
this.
extension of the porn that I'm doing. So yes,
Very
you know.
cool. Oh my gosh, such a I'm always really amazed how people got to where they are today, and I'm always really interested in hearing people's histories, and yours is just so varied and so interesting, and like wow, it feels like you've lived
Yeah,
like three lives.
I've had a pretty fun journey, and I've got some more interesting things and places to go. But yeah, it's been pretty cool so far.
Exciting. And like, why don't we get more into your involvement with sex work and how you forayed into sex work specifically? So if you want to go into details, feel free to.
Okay. So there's um there's been a variety of moments that led me to sex work too. I started when I was 33, but I had a friend who reminded me, hey, you made this rap song for my compilation when you were 21 years old, and the title of the rap song is "Fuck Rap, I Want to Be a Porn Star." Literally, in my 20s, and so many of my rap songs in my career, I make subtle jokes about it. I make these. I'm like, oh fuck rap! I'm quitting this. I'm gonna go have sex for a living. And I made multiple references in my music constantly, and then I'm like, okay, all jokes aside, this isn't like a feasible avenue for you. You really want to do this. So like, yeah, there was that. I had a bunch of songs in my career. That was one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been very polyamorous, and I was going to sex clubs, and I had a 7-year relationship that was open relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of wild stuff, and at one point, and then we broke up. So I was like, okay, well, I'm poly. They weren't really poly, and I'm like, I really want to be like us, like kind of evolving sexually and exploring things.
Yeah.
And I found one person that I was with, and we had sex 3 or 4 times, and she was like, yo, you are amazing at sex. You're fantastic, and I really think my girlfriend should be getting fucked as good as like you're fucking me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Nice. And she was very, very adamant. And she's like, okay, listen, we're gonna have an arrangement. I hook it up. We get $100 per fuck. You take $70 for the sex. I take $30 for hooking up the person. And I was like,
oh,
this is cool. What's wrong with this? This is sound like it's win-win-win to me. This is great.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, this was my actual experience. Every word is true. And like we had sex 4 times, and then I had sex with her one more time, and just because I thought that she was going to keep her word, but she was like, no, the sex is too good. I can't do it. I can't do that. I changed my mind. I don't want to share it. And I was like,
oh.
I was like, I didn't want to stop having sex with you just because I have sex with other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't do monogamy. I'm poly by nature. So anybody who wants to be exclusive with me, I just can't be with.
Totally. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, unfortunately, we almost did it. We almost had the dream.
Yeah.
So I separated from them, and that was like right before I started doing sex work officially. And
okay.
I was going to conferences. I was looking around. I was reading, and essentially, I kept going to a sex store on Queen Street here in Toronto. It was called Come As You Are.
Okay.
And I just kept looking on. They had a bulletin board there, and they just had like independent people in Toronto doing various sexy things. Mm-hmm. So I just kept looking. I literally went to that bulletin board for a year. And then I came in one day, and the cashier was like this woman, and like she knew me. She's like, "Yo, I know you're like always looking for something." I walked in one day, and she's like, "I got a phone number for you. Yo, hey, there's an opportunity." And I was like, "Oh my god, great!" She handed me a number and was like, "There's a guy looking for people who want to shoot porn in Toronto."
Oh.
I was like, "This is okay. It's official. I'm going to begin." So
wow.
So I was like, "Great." I was like, I don't want to move to Cali. I don't want to move to Amsterdam. I feel like Toronto has enough sexual energy and economy to stay here.
Totally.
Like I'm not going to do it full time. I've got a 20-year music career, 10-year journalism career. Like I can still do that part time and do porn part time. That was my plan.
Yeah.
So after a year, somebody gave me a number and was like, you can do it. They want to shoot porn here in a sex club in Toronto. Great. So it was a company called PVP Productions, and it was at a club called M4. And I showed up. Right before we shot our porn, I had to do a 2-hour interview with them.
Oh.
And it was really cool because we sat down and we talked for 2 hours over dinner, and right before we ended, they said very powerful words I'll never forget. I was like, this is great. They said, yeah, we just wanted to talk to you for the whole 2 hours just to make sure that you didn't hate women. And I
Oh,
was like, I'm like,
what?
my brain was like, I was like, what? I'm like, and I was like, oh shit, like how many dudes get into this industry because they have some deep-seated hatred for women and they can act it out in a porn scene.
Wow, I never even thought about that at all.
I never thought about that at all either. Me
Holy
neither.
shit.
There's
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, oh, you're right. I'm like, yeah, you definitely got to filter out for some creeps because
Yeah,
just because
absolutely.
somebody's got a dick and yeah, you show up with two pieces of ID, sure they could do that and have a clean test, but yeah,
Oh
like
my God.
if they're not gonna respect boundaries, who gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah, I never even, and that has never come across my mind.
me too. That's why I bring it up when it's relevant because I was like, oh
Oh
shit, you're
shit,
right, and like
yeah.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm glad you did that. I'm like, yeah, check me out. Like, I'm like, I want to die with my hands never slapping a woman's face. I'm like, this is what I like. This is part of my core belief in life. Like, I'm super non-violent to women, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, this is great, cool. I'm good. I love women. Like, like, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
that. This is my purpose in life: sexual pleasure. This is what I was born to do. Like, I feel no shame in it. Like.
Yes.
This is not all I can do. I can string a few words together, but like, so
Well,
yeah. So
yeah.
I shot my first scene the next day, and it was great. It was really wild though because it was kind of like being thrown into the deep end, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no manuals. I looked around a lot. There's barely any manuals on the internet to get to tell anybody really like what it's like on a porn set. A
Yeah.
lot of it's kind of superficial, and a lot of it's kind of cheesy and like exploitative, or like they don't take it seriously,
Right.
like a day at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or yeah, it's just like, I don't know, you're gonna see nude bodies and what, like, so whatever, like you see nude bodies at a hospital of you, like what the fuck.
Right?
So, so yeah, it's like being thrown in the deep end, and like you don't know if your dick is gonna work, or if you're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, like you're gonna shoot with somebody on Tuesday. You've never seen them. You don't know if their breast stinks or not. You don't know if you have chemistry with them or not. You don't know if you like them or not like them, or if it will be just like neutral. And
Yeah.
so it's like the gambling begins, and you hope for
The
magic
best.
chemistry, which I did have. Like I had a good time with my first,
Oh,
but
good.
yeah. The last thing I'll say is when you're in it, like without having any training, you are forced. I don't think there's a human being that would be in a situation like that doesn't extremely overthink the situation, and you
Right.
think way too much instead of actually doing just the job that you're there to do. And I remember, I just want to say, it felt like my brain was being chopped up with a Ginsu knife.
What?
It like, like my brain just, it was like chop. My brain had so many thoughts in the short span of a time when I'm just about to like, I'm like, what's the camera doing there? How close is it going to be? Where's this? Like, what position do I start with? What, like,
Wow.
your brain is thinking all these things, and it's like, technically you're just supposed to achieve an erection and do things. Like,
Simply put.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, when you don't know, you super overthink, and your fears and worries and like self
Yeah,
criticism.
lots of pressures there. I mean, like the last time I had someone on that was in the porn industry that was male identifying was like 60 episodes ago. So it's been a while. So it's really nice to have this refresher and to like hear these sentiments because that was the episode with Jesse Black, I think episode 35 if anyone wants to listen to it. But he also shared some similar sentiments there too, and just like that kind of like anxious, nerve wracking, like all this immense pressure coming on as well. So you're not the only one that's had those feelings as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing that. And like, I've heard some porn stars, they say in the mainstream California American industry where most of the world's porn is made,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around 93 to 96% of those guys are on pills and they're taking
Yeah.
Viagra. But
Yes.
nobody ever wants to talk about it. Nobody ever
No.
wants to admit it. So that's another thing. People are looking at porn and having this pressure to like not only like perform like those people and whatever in the positions, but
Mm-hmm.
for the sustained amount of time. And it's like, yo, like when you're watching Hollywood movies, Brad Pitt isn't doing those. They have stunt doubles, they have makeup, they have lighting, they have all this extra help.
They
So like,
do.
it's the same in porn. Like people are on pills. Like all those anal scenes that the women are doing, they've prepared their assholes for a half an hour, douches
Yeah.
and like
Day
so
before,
much.
like.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
they've prepared. So yeah, I mean, without having the education, you don't really know. And it took me about 3 years to like have pretty consistent hard-ons when I
Wow.
wanted to have them without
Wow.
taking any pills, because I mostly try not to. I'll do it once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but I try not to use any like pills. Try to
Enhancers
have
or
it natural. Yeah, but
right.
I don't judge people who do it. Whatever, we're here to work.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Interesting. Yeah, like no one ever talks about that kind of stuff, right? So that's really, really interesting that you brought it up. I mean, maybe that's something I have to bring into another episode at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
No, I
inspo.
really, that's part of what I really want to be as transparent as possible. I'm like, my path isn't the way that everybody's going to be, because I do like to throw in a lot of romance and pussy eating and
Mm-hmm.
ideas like goddess worship and sacred sexuality and stuff like that. And I know not everybody's into that. Some people
Mm-hmm.
just are like, hey, I'm here to fucking suck and bust or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
there's times where I love that. And if that's all you want to do in your porn and sex work, that's great. I don't judge it. But yeah, so
To each their own,
there's,
right?
yeah, exactly. Whatever
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 floats
float.
your
But
boat. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's really
yeah,
interesting. So, like, that was your first foray into the sex industry was through porn. Are you still doing porn, or are you just mainly doing escorting at the moment?
I do more porn than escorting.
Oh, my
I
bad. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
don't apologize at all. It's not of my desire. It's just the market shifts from time to time. Some months I do more escorting than porn. Some months I do more porn than escorting.
Okay.
It just all depends. There's no statistics. There's not much public conversation about like women and trans, like about my clientele, like my market, like
Mm-hmm.
non-male market.
Right.
There's not a lot of women that talk about, hey, like I see male providers. And
Yeah.
so like it's difficult for me to kind of navigate sometimes, but I'm out here doing the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it out there, and yeah, it sometimes I do porn, sometimes I get a bunch of calls for massages and or
Fun.
other things. So it's, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, well, it's a mixed bag. I mean, it's a gig economy, right? So,
Yeah,
I
it really is.
we'll definitely get more into like specific services that you offer later on. But before I close off this whole section and like history and all that stuff, and going into sex work initially, I know that you just can't wait to speak about the role that music and film play in porn. So I'm gonna let you take the stage here because I know that you mentioned it, and I was like, I'm gonna let you speak about whatever you want because I think those things are really, really important in setting the tone and also just creating ambiance. But I'm curious to hear your perspective on it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a hard left. Thank you for this space.
You're
So
welcome.
yes, like one of my deep-seated beliefs in life is that every movie is a porn movie.
Okay.
Every single movie is a, and even deeper than that, every great movie is a porn movie, but it may not be a nude porn movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's every movie that's great has a object of desire and a journey towards the disconnection and reconnection to that object of desire. Porn is the most raw version of a movie where it's just like two people, very little dialogue matters, and we're just getting cut. In Hollywood they say cut to the chase.
Yep.
I love to say skip to the sex scene. That's what I say. I'm like, but that's what the core of action, of like explosive cinema is. It's just like, it's just a journey towards what you love. It could be, and the love object could be anything. It could be a city. It could be like a pair of shoes. It could be journey home, like whatever, like physical objects, a dress, whatever, like Cinderella, whatever. Like,
Right.
but anything. It's just like somebody loves something passionately, and everybody is watching to be like, do they connect to this person or not?
Right.
So yeah, and I mean, and beyond that, I have these other little side thoughts that, like, in cinema, there's also like cum shots. Like every action movie, when there's a big explosion, that's a fucking cum shot.
Yeah.
And that's it. It fulfills the same purpose. I love action movies to death. And I'm like, I love porn too. And I'm like, yo, it's like the same idea.
Yeah, it's a climax. Like, this is a really, really cool metaphor. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I live and die, and I'm like, I just love cinema itself. I love movies because after a while, my music making became very cinematic because I'm so verbal and poetic, and I would sample movie clips in there, and I would like, it's just drawing out. It's like beginning, middle, end, the same way a movie is. Like, songs
Right.
can be that way, and I just saw the parallels between two of them, the two art forms, so much in my life. I'm like, they're just different versions of the same thing. One's for your eyes, one's for your ears,
Right.
and so yeah, essentially, like, that's one of my core loves, is cinema and the journey towards expressing, like the connection, reconnection to your passion. And
Wow.
so many people's lives don't get there. Like, so many, like, people just die, like, never finding their great love, or never matching a love that they had in their past. And so I've been trying to. I'm making porn, and I've spent a lot of time in front of the camera. It's been wonderful. I enjoy it as a lovemaker. I'm going to make porn in my mind until the day I die. 60,
Fun.
70, 80, I want to be still looking good. I'll be like the Helen Mirren or Samuel L. Jackson of porn, or like the Patrick Stewart. I'll be older and dignified, but still sexy as fuck. And like, yo, like that J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling looks good. That's an old man, but he was in that Tomorrow War movie, and he was Diesel. Like, that man was. So anyway, like. So yeah, I want to be in front of the camera, but I've also realized the power of being behind the camera, and making the decisions with the camera. I'm not afraid to be a director myself.
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
right.
yeah, I've made a bunch of movies myself, but I've also realized, like, porn movies. But I'm like, like, why don't I just expand this and make like a 30-minute movie, or a full-length movie? So
Yeah, well, you mentioned that in the beginning too, that like you were hoping to maybe eventually move over into directing at some point. So is that something that you're currently wanting to do immediately, like this year, or something that you're already dabbling into, or something that like a goal that maybe in the next like 3 to 5 years kind of thing?
It's a 3 to 5 years thing.
Okay.
I'm slowly studying script making. I'm
Great.
script writing. I'm studying editing. I've got some books. So I'm looking at it as an art form. The way that RZA learned from Quentin Tarantino for 5 years. He was just like, I'm going to be your film student for 5 years
Yeah.
before I dive in and make my own movie. So like, I'm in that phase. I'm just studying the art form of cinema, because a movie is 10,000 times bigger than a song. I've made hundreds of songs. I have probably 13 or 14 albums, and I can make a song myself, or I can make a song with one other person. But a movie, you kind of can't make a movie without a less than 40, 50, 100, 200 people. Look at the credits of some Hollywood movies, and they have 10,000 people in the credits.
Yeah.
And that's almost, so it's like, I'm not gonna. A movie is kind of like the biggest creative endeavor I think is possible on Earth in a
That's
way. So
exciting. Yeah.
so I'm just kind of like I'm slowly studying it and slowly looking to how I can merge like building a good dialogue and good script with good characters and tension, and then bringing in more sexuality than a regular Hollywood movie. And being like,
Mm.
all right, this is like half porn, half really good, smart movie.
Totally. That's so cool. I mean, I can't, I mean, we'll have to keep in touch for sure because I'd love to hear where your journey is going to take you. Because as you said, like, and as you mentioned earlier, your history is just so interesting. So many different forms of yourself every decade or so, right? So,
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying. I mean, I'm basically a very, just a pure artist, and I keep
I can
evolving and
tell.
exploring. So, yeah,
So cool.
yeah, I'm just having fun with it, and yeah, the difficult thing is just finding people that are willing and faithful enough to believe the vision and kind of contribute. It's difficult to find people to shoot porn.
Mm.
So it's challenging. It's challenging. So sex
Yeah.
work it's easier to get sex work customers because it's like a one and done thing. But
Right. That's
also,
interesting.
yeah, also just working with women primarily is challenging because it's a controversial statement, but I think that there's a lot of statistics that reinforce what I'm going to say. But
Okay.
as evolved as we are as a society, and we are very much made many strides to equalize so many things in the world. I unfortunately, not that many women still initiate sexual contact.
Mm.
I think more of them are kind of a little more receptive than
Interesting.
yeah, but and this is very. I know there are women that absolutely do. I'm not saying this is everybody at all, but just
Right, yeah,
yeah,
but just your own observation, your own personal experiences as well. Like that, yeah, that's not to be discounted. So, yeah.
yeah, and you know, like looking at the like just the clients of sex work, like the sex work market. I think it would be like 7 to 8, maybe 9 out of 10 people are male bodied or male oriented who are actually like I'm putting my money out. I'm looking for like a whether they want a man or a woman as their like. It's just like I think most of the people initiating it are kind of male.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I see and hear that as well, and I don't know if maybe men are just more forthcoming that way, or maybe there's just less shame, or that's something that's expected of them as masculine beings. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
All of that reinforces it. I'm not saying it's like I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying like, I wish it was like an equal playing field and everybody felt like equally. But it's all I know like patriarchy and sexism and like
and misogyny.
like all women people, women body just get sex shamed way more than anybody else. So I
Oh
know
yeah,
these are factors.
absolutely.
I'm not unsensitive to that. So.
No, no, and I'm curious too now since you brought the topic up, like who are your clients mainly and like why do they seek you out? I'm almost curious to hear about women seeking male like full service companions.
You know, to be honest, I have to make a comment. The last kind of 6 clients I've had, fortunately and unfortunately, were kind of people at the very, uh, at a very extreme point of pain and suffering in their sexual or romantic life journey.
Life, right,
And,
right.
and they're just like, yo, I'm kind of broken. I've been through a lot of shit,
Mm,
and I've seen your stuff online, and I trust it, and I just need like a neutral person who I don't have
mm-hmm.
any personal history with,
Right.
who I'm kind of gambling on, but like I feel safe to gamble with you, and I just need you to hold me for an hour. I just need you to kiss me. I just need you to provide this sexual service or whatever. And like, it's been people who have really been through a lot of shit.
Mm,
And,
interesting.
yeah, not all of them. I'm just saying, like, I just noticed for like literally the last 6 of them have been
Yeah,
kind of like, yeah, like one was a divorce, one was somebody who had kind of been just not
in a great
touched for about
place.
2 years.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
and they're just like, I need the basics, and I'm like, I can do the basics, and then I
Yeah.
provide it, and they're like, thank you.
You know what? You're not the first person who's talked to me about this as well. Like I was also speaking with another male provider as well, and they were saying the same thing. It was there's like distinct differences between men and women and what they seek when they're looking for companions. So when this person's experience, he has found that women were really trying to seek some kind of emotional connection, whereas with men, a lot of it, and this is not for every single scenario, but a lot of it is physical or purely physical.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, no sentence can describe all of reality, and I
No,
totally, especially in sex work, all of us know the nuances, and there's always an exception to the rule with like everything.
of course.
But like, yeah, I totally agree, and I will also reinforce that to say, for the men that usually try to violate my boundaries and
Hmm.
ask for more, they're all asking for physical stuff because
Right,
like my ads say women only. Women
right.
and trans only. Like I
Hmm.
have a variety of ads, and
Yeah.
men will call and pretend to be women for a while,
Oh my
and then be like,
gosh.
oh, and then the day will come, and they'll be like, oh, hey, actually, I'm a man.
What?
Yeah, I've had that
Oh gosh.
three or four times this year for sure.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, and then I'm just like, no, that's not what my ad said. And then they'll be like, well, I want a massage, and I'm like, I kind of do massage. I'll try to maybe hear them out a bit, and then they'll be like, okay, well, if I add $200, can I get a blowjob? And I'm like,
Oh my
no,
god.
no,
No.
yeah. I'm like, holy shit,
What you should
absolutely
not
not.
do. Do not do
Yeah,
this, clients
yeah,
listening.
like, you're not reading, you're not listening, you're not respecting.
No.
Hell no. It's like, so yeah, then yeah, you're right. So
Oh gosh. I
yeah,
mean,
that's part of my experience. But yeah, I honestly, every single interview I do, I'm like, I know that I don't receive the brunt of the negative energy and words and actions against sex workers.
mhm,
I do receive some. I'm out here, but like as a male body person, as a man, I do have privilege where my
right.
social media is not, I'm not slut shamed. My inbox isn't filled with fat dumb bitch comments and all that
Mhm.
stupid shit. And I'm like, I empathize, and I sincerely am out here fighting with all women, all sex workers, and I'm like, yo, you need somebody to just come and curse out somebody, or just support you, I'm here. Like, I
Thank
will,
you.
I,
Thank you.
I, I'm that person. Like, I just randomly, sometimes I'm online and just see conversations and whatever. I'm just like, I don't know who it is. I would just support the woman, support the sex worker, and support the sexual idea. Like,
Yes.
fuck the shaming of this. Be like, okay, there's just something will happen. And then, when that whole Cardi B thing came out, all those people like,
Mhm.
oh, wet ass pussy. What am I like? No,
Oh.
what are you talking about? I can name 10. Jay-Z has so many songs talking about his dick and whatever, and
Yep.
nobody had any problems about Jay-Z talking about his dick. So all
So
of you
true.
people shut up when Cardi B's talking about her wet ass pussy.
Yeah.
Everybody shut up. Like, this is hip hop. Everybody can talk about whatever they want. And like,
Totally.
yeah, there's only a fraction of the songs in hip hop history are talking about pussy or tits. Like, everything, most of them are talking about their dicks, and there's no, like, very little social outrage. So
Yes. Oh my
fuck this
god.
hypocrisy. I'm like, I will every single day. I'm like, fuck all you stupid, hypocritical hip hop heads. And like, that's one of the main
Right?
reasons I got out of hip hop, because I was so tired of the sexual hypocrisy.
Yeah, tons of
You
double
guys,
standards.
yeah, like, you guys want sexy women, and as soon as a woman shows up sexy and is like, I want to be sexy on my own terms, you're like, oh, fuck that bitch, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, oh, you guys are so fucking stupid and offensive and dehumanizing. Like,
Yeah, it
she has
is.
a, she's got a sexy body, but she's also got a brain in her head and a personality. So you gotta like
Make room. Make room.
make room. You gotta navigate those things. She's a real three-dimensional person. How about you
Absolutely.
fucking acknowledge that, and like,
Oh my
not
gosh.
not just try to fuck her and abandon her, you fucking sickos. Like,
No, I hear the passion coming through your voice.
I'm like,
I admire
thank
it.
you.
It's yeah, it's
Yeah,
fiery.
this is my whole life. This is my reason of being.
It comes through. It comes through. I mean, another thing I wanted to I want to ask you earlier too, going on those negative experiences, not to bring it down, but I mean, we're already talking about negative experiences.
No, it's okay.
But
it's mostly fun. Sex work is mostly fun, but that's any job, It's mostly good.
Mostly good, mostly fun, but there's always going to be instances where like it's shitty and it sucks.
Yeah, you're a shitty customer. Yeah, I worked at McDonald's. There's shitty customers sometimes. So,
absolutely.
Your question.
Yeah, like, I mean, you said, like, okay, there's men parading as women and they're not being sincere and impersonating in that kind of sense. Do you ever have people or folks that try to seek your services only because you're a black man?
Yes, let's go here.
We're going here.
Yeah, let's go. It's wonderful and horrible at the same time. Not at the same time, but like in general.
Okay.
It's not a clear line as far as actions, but it's kind of a clear line as far as intentions. I don't know if that's that clear. What I'm essentially saying is I can feel when somebody has dehumanized me or not on account of my blackness.
Wow.
Like I'm like you can talk about I'm like, hey, I have 2 Jamaican parents. I am an African bodied person. Sure. You can talk about that. I'm like, whatever. I have a 8.5-inch penis. So if you want to think that like black people are, if you want to reinforce that idea, I kind of reinforce that stereotype. But I also know black dudes with 2-inch penises too, and they're just as black as I am. So I can acknowledge people when they're like, hey, you're black, I want to talk about black issues or whatever, or like I want to have an experience with a black man. I can be like, cool, I can do that. But if you reduce me to just my dick or just my skin, then I'm like, nah, you don't see the full me. You don't hear my mind. You don't respect
you're just a dick.
My soul and my intellect. So like, you fucked it up. You're right to be attracted, but you're wrong to forget the other parts of me.
Yeah, that you're a human being and not just a dick, right?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I like white women, but like I don't just chase white women and just reduce them to that and just be like, another blonde off the notch on the belt. Like, no. I literally did like, I've been with an Italian woman. I've been with a French woman. I've been with an Irish woman. I've been with a man. Like I can culturally differentiate between human beings, and I see them as 3-dimensional people.
Right. Yeah, and that's so important.
I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, I've been with an indigenous woman. I've been with. I'm like, I don't know everything about Asia, but I'm like, I've been with Japanese women and Chinese women and Filipino women and learned about the differences between those.
Yeah. Huge differences.
I've been with all types of women. I love women across the planet. And I'm not discrimination. I'm sincerely not like searching for notches, but my heart is open to anybody. And in my life journey so far, I've been with pretty much every type of like women on the planet, like South Asian, Latin. So black, white.
Yeah, it's really like, it's like almost like an energy thing. I feel like you can kind of feel, as you said, or you get like a hunch or something goes up where you're like, this isn't going in like the right direction, right?
Yeah, where it's like it almost feels like they're toying with you, or you're like this toy to them, and you don't feel like an equal human. And whenever I don't feel like an equal human, I just gently fade out of the fucking scene. I'm like, nah. Like, and especially if there's not any space that they're not even trying to listen or have any awareness about it.
Yeah.
To try to maybe have a difficult but necessary conversation and be like, yo, like, why are you treating me like I'm like some fucking
object?
Object on a stage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, yo. So yeah, like, it's hard, but it's. Yeah, I've had experiences in both parts.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I brought up energy because, like, I feel like, and like when I speak with you, and like when I've interacted with you on Twitter and also just looking at your website and stuff like that, I feel like you're so like rooted in that energy, in healing and love and all of that. And I feel like that's really like part of yourself, and it really comes through with your branding and stuff too. And I kind of wanted to go into, I guess, like looking at your website, connection, communication, creation, and that whole aspect in terms of services that you offer.
I'm so thankful that you see that, because it's challenging, because it turns off some people. And honestly, I've met a variety of women who are like, I shot a porn scene with somebody. We did a blowjob scene and a pussy eating scene. And I learned them a little more, and they're like, yo, I don't like people who use the word love. Like, I've had a bad history with it. I don't trust people. And I was like, yo, I was like, I respect where you're coming from. Anybody who can be honest about, like, I've been through some fucked up shit. I had a shitty ex-boyfriend, abusive, whatever, darker stuff. I'm like, I acknowledge that, and I wish you peace and healing. Like, so I've got to deal with that quite often, because I'm poly, and not only am I quite poly, but I'm also professionally sexual, so I have those relationships too. And I'm always meeting people who are out in the trenches of love and sex, and going, like, having some good stuff happen and having some horrible stuff happen. So yeah, like, it's not easy.
No.
Off track of your question.
No, that's okay. Well, not even more so a question about, like, we're just going to be talking about, like, connection, communication, creation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry. Your website. Sorry. I don't get to talk about this very much at all, so I just fell down like a rabbit hole in my heart.
That's
but
totally okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I went with my mom when I was about 31 or 32. We went to Arizona once, and she was doing this metaphysical speakers conference, and she goes, yo, let's just go get our auras read, just for fun. I was
cool.
Like, okay, why not? I'm just on vacation with my mom in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I go to an aura reader, sit down, they take a picture of my aura, and I get the picture, and I have it. I still have it to this day. And the aura reader goes, there is so much red energy around it. Look at this picture. Most of his energy is covered in red, and the symbolism for red is love lessons, love teacher, sexuality, healing. And this dude was like, that's part of your life purpose. That's your energy. That's what you radiate. That's who you are. That's what you're about. And this was before I started doing sex work. I was like 31, 32. And I actually went back with my mom twice to the same, like a year later, got the same reading, same different person, same result. Like, I have two pictures, and the dominant energy is red, and it has all this, every color in the spectrum, what it means, and it's just like, red is love. Like, so I'm saying all that to say, like, this is just part of who I am as a sexual person, as a regular being. My mom saw that multiple times, and like my mom, my whole family knows about my sex work. They all know. Like, they're like, that's cool. That's him. He's always been like a loving, gentle, romantic kind of guy, and an artist. So
that's awesome.
And I also started in my 30s, so my mom wasn't like, hey, he's not like some young 21-year-old getting brainwashed by somebody. Like,
he's
like, all
he's
right,
an adult now. What
can I say?
That's really cool.
So it's just part of me. So whatever, even in hip hop, people were like, you're so loving with your hip hop, and like, that's just who I am. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that bit of you. Like, it's so nice to hear that part. It really does come through, like, when I speak to you. So I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you. I appreciate you for even, honestly, sometimes I have to hold it back. I've had people, this isn't something there's no pride in it. This is just a statement of fact of my life. I've had multiple people break up with me because I was just loving them. Period.
What?
And it was really, it broke my heart one time. I was with somebody for 4 months. We had amazing sex. She was brilliant. She's a published author in Toronto. She's famous. She's out there. She's I'm not gonna say her name. I never do, but like
Yeah.
we had a great relationship, and 4 months into it, she goes, "I have to leave you." She goes, "I don't know what to do with you. All we're having here is love and fun, and I came from so many broken relationships. That's what I'm used to. You haven't hit me. You haven't screamed at me. She's like, I'm uncomfortable here. I'm leaving," and just left me and dumped me just because I was just. I'm not like this is. I'm not like bragging about it. I like broke my heart. I'm like, but this is a fact of my life.
That's so awful. Multiple. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, pardon me?
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it took a while to, like, I'm not saying get over, but I'm just like, yeah, I healed from that, but, like, yeah, like, it's, some people are just not ready for just pure, no games, no tricks, no lies, just love and passion and truth.
Totally. That's not an experience for some people, and sometimes it's hard for them to fathom, which also brings me to another service you offer is love coaching and advanced relationship therapy. So, do you want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been writing for a website called Polyamory Today for about 8 years, and I just write about my experiences. I'm quite active with multiple people in multiple scenes, professionally and privately. I got a lot of books. I've met some authors. I'm just constantly in like studying modern relationships and even like different cultures across history and time. So yeah, I mean, I'm like, there's no professional, like, I'm like, this is love and human relationships. I'm like, I don't care. You're gonna deal with some fucked up shit. You're gonna get your heart broken. Someone's gonna cheat. Doesn't matter what. Like, someone's fucking up. We're humans. Like,
yeah.
Somebody can be doing this for 50 years, and they're like, whether you're Dr. Ruth or whatever, like, totally. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just like ups and downs. Every weekend is another episode in the saga of love. So
saga of love, yes, it does. I mean, as you said, ups and downs. There's so many different chapters as well when it comes to love.
I use that all the time. I'm so with you, and I'm gonna just say this one thing. I gotta say this one thing because it was like something I've dealt with so deeply. I love this person. If they hear this, you know I love you, but I'm just saying it because it was just a true statement that was said once. I was struggling with this person through some relationship issues, and I was just like, yo, we're not even on the same page anymore. We're not even in the same book. We're not even in the same library. I'm like, we are so philosophically apart in our hearts that we're like, we're not even in the same library.
I'm stealing that.
I'm like, this chapter has to end. This book is done. Like, no more commas. It's a period! Exclamation mark. So,
I think that's great.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm just out here. I do some. Very few people take me up on it, but I've had a couple. I haven't had a few. It's mostly single, divorced wives who've come to see me.
Right.
And it's mostly more physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a married couple come to see me for some verbal and sexual connection, and they wanted verbal assistance, and then they asked for a threesome as well, which was a really wild and weird experience that started off great and then turned.
Oh
very,
no!
Yeah. It was wild. It involved. I'm going to stop there.
Darn.
Say that for the book. But there's also there's been some young men who actually seek me out to learn about intimacy and porn and how to, and have asked, like, kind of been asking me about sex ed. And it's been cool, so if that happens.
That's super cool. Well, again, like, your experience is super diverse. It's been so lovely to hear about everything that you do and your perspective. Yeah. So, like, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, no problem. This is just the tip of the iceberg of Malcolm Lovejoy.
Well, there's just a few questions that came in from the audience that we could quickly go over, and then we can go over yeah, whatever these
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are
yeah.
asking. So, first question is, what stereotypes are you tired of hearing when it comes to black men?
Uh, well, I don't think in my lifetime I'm going to see the end of these stereotypes, but it
Yeah.
would be, yeah, like, that's a good question to ask, anyways.
Hmm.
And it would be nice. It would be nice for black men to not be reduced to just fuck machines
Yeah.
that are just bulls with no intellect and
Hmm.
no romantic side and no sensitive side. I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
I'm
Totally.
sick of I'm sick of I'm sick of expecting to like have these like massive dicks and massive cum shots and like massive muscles and all that shit. Like that's
Hmm.
just tired. Like it's those people are great and like those black men exist and they're beautiful, but that like all black men don't have to fit into that one shoe size
Right.
and it's just it's ridiculous that all like men and women are kind of like it's size is not everything. Bigger is
No.
not better. Bigger
No.
is not better. It really isn't. Like it's really about fit. It's about chemistry. It's about
Yeah. It's
connection.
about
Like
connection.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
like yeah, it's really about the right things, just finding the right harmony together. So yeah, I mean, there's many
There's
uh,
many out there, I know.
there's many yeah, just but I also want black men to have more of a director's like. Well, the other thing I will say is not enough black men and black people in kink and in BDSM.
Hmm.
And that's a
Yeah, good
stereotype
point.
that black, yeah, that's a like, both people reinforce, not both, like not just black and white culture, but like many cultures reinforce that ignorance that
Hmm.
kink is only for white people and it's weird,
Yeah.
deviant shit that only white people do and black people are not supposed to do kink. And like, I hate that
Right.
idea. That's so, I
So
like,
so wrong.
I it's so wrong. It's so
Yeah.
absolutely wrong. The first time I got tied up, at one, it was by a wonderful black woman who tied me up. Literally, as maybe as pivotal as the moment that I rolled on my first condom and actually inserted it in an actual welcoming vagina. And
Wow.
like, when I got tied up, I thought that I was being held by a mother. That's
Oh,
that's the first thought that came to my brain. I was in rope, and I
fascinating.
was like, "This is maternal. This is." I'm like,
Wow.
"This feels like home." I feel like I'm being embraced by. That was the. I'm like, "Oh, this is so warm and lovely."
Wow, that's so
Yeah,
interesting. I've never heard of that perspective before.
yeah, that's how.
So
That was my
cool.
experience. And I have pictures of it. It's so great. I have pictures of the first time I got tied up in rope. Like I. It was so I'll never forget it. Very pivotal. I remember the first time I got flogged. I remember the
Hmm.
room, the person who did it. It was so wonderful and a warm, loving experience for me. I love kink. I love BDSM, and I'm a black person, and like we exist.
Yeah, and you're allowed to want to be part of that community too, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's
Amazing.
another thing.
Cool. Second question here is, do you think there are any advantages for being a male sex worker over being a female or non-binary sex worker?
Yeah, and I touched on it a bit. One of the main advantages is just not getting a lot of the day-to-day mentally, physically, spiritually exhausting text messages
Yep.
and social media, all that I see it all the time. I see people like, yo, I can't, I had to fucking delete this account. I have stalkers. I have, not I have stalkers. I'm just saying I see women who have stalkers and all of that bullshit energy.
Mm-hmm.
Just governments fucking trying to decide what you can do with your body. The bullshit in Texas right now, like abortion bullshit, all it's like
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Like it's just
Awful.
insane,
Yeah,
inhuman, fucking uncivilized savagery. And I'm like,
totally.
if I was a woman, I honestly say I don't say it too much because it's like, I'm honestly like women. I don't know how you don't have shooting rampages all the time. I would lose my fucking mind. Like, yo, and I'd be like, I get it, girl. Go shoot them up. Go. I
Yeah,
get it. Like you
seriously.
have every like y'all. This is too far, and y'all have every right to snap. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous. But
it's that's like another topic too. Yeah, with the whole Texas abortions and everything. It's just fucking awful. I cannot believe that it's like even
yeah, like
past
what 20, this is 2021 or like 1921.
1900. Yeah, like what's going on
What,
here?
what is going on? Ridiculous madness. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, like as being part of a journal, like being a journalist, I'm paying attention to the media, so I constantly see like sexual imbalance all the time, and I just don't receive it as a man. Mostly, I'm like mostly invisible.
Yeah,
Like
to that
nobody
stuff.
shames me. No one. I'm just not on anyone's radar.
No.
I'm just trying to be seen. To be like, yo, women. Like I'm real and I'm available and I'm valid. I do this work, and sex work isn't a thing that only women can do. Like
Right.
it's so yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's that's like the biggest one. There's a
Yeah.
few other benefits,
Of
but
course.
man.
Meh. You're aware of your you're aware
Yeah,
of your male
exactly. I don't want to
privilege.
go on. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Like,
We don't need to list them off. We're aware.
yeah, totally. It's like,
Okay,
yeah.
just one more question here before I let you go. So it's what are some hindrances you experience as a male full service companion that the public doesn't hear very often?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good question. Thank you, audience.
That's a good one. Thanks, whoever cares about me like that. Yes, performance. Let's talk about performance because whether just being a male sex worker or a black male sex worker, they're just like, oh well, like you can just fuck whenever you want to fuck and whatever, and it's like I'm not some like robot with a dick,
No.
and I don't live on Viagra, and like sometimes I don't get erect because I don't feel like the passion that I have when I speak is kind of reminiscent of the passion that I have when I fuck, but it's also like a fraction. Like
Yeah.
I give. I'm a lover that loves to give. So when I don't feel that in return, I sometimes my body cannot respond or does not respond. And like I don't have you heard of it? Some people have heard this. I'll just throw it out there because I like wordplay, but
Yeah.
some people are like I get a hard on, but some other lovers and some of us passionate professionals be like I need to get a heart on, where it's
Oh.
yeah, it's
I
a little
love
silly,
that.
but
It's
yeah, it's
cute.
also wonderful. It's also like people would be like that's kind of corny, but it's like no, but it's also real. If you live that deeply, it's like
Yeah.
no, I would love my heart and my dick to be connected when I'm fucking. Like
sure.
that would be great. Like you don't understand how much deeper the sex can be and how much more I might be able to fuck if I actually like don't treat this as just some race to orgasm. Like I'm not just a robot here being like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you in 3 or 4 positions and slap your ass and like me, I come and then I'm gone. And then this is
So
not
true, though.
this is not my idea of sex. I'm
No.
a man, but I'm like, yo, I could kiss you for 30 minutes. I want to kiss your whole body. I want to like we can cuddle. We can
Yeah,
do all
take
this
some
stuff.
time with it.
No, I love eating pussy. I want to set world records for eating pussy. I'm so you don't even know me if you think that I'm just some dude that just wants to come and go. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that's so trying to teach my own specific identity and just try to be seen out here is hard because I know some people might see my website or see what I do and be like, this guy can't be real. I'm like, oh, well, like I wish you didn't misjudge, but
Yeah.
it's it's wonderful, but
Yeah, I
it's
feel
also
like there's a lot of misjudgment, I feel like in general with male companions. They like people just don't think it's a legitimate job either. They just think guys
You're
just want to
right.
fuck.
You're right. And I do got to throw this out there because I only learned it about like less than a year ago, and I've been doing this for 9 years. I found out from some women who are like other female providers. They're like, they're like, yo, there's a lot of creepy dudes out here, and there's a lot of guys who use like Trist or whatever, like bootleg backpage websites that there are, and they're like, yo, there's some horrible male providers out here who just like are like ruining the industry.
Oh my god!
Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, yo, for real, like some guys are super creeps, and they don't care about standards, and they're just like out here trying to get paid to fuck.
Whoa.
And like, I don't get to talk to too many guys, and I don't work with too many guys. So
No.
like, it's a very isolating, like being a male provider who's like doesn't work with other like gay men. So
yeah.
So I only recently learned that there's a bunch of shitty dudes out there.
I didn't know about that either.
My market.
Fuck.
And
that's awful.
I was like, wow.
There's a lot of twisted people out there.
I know it's been a while.
No, that's okay. We've had some great stuff on this episode, and like, I don't want to let you go, but it's time to let you go. But before I do that, where can we find you?
Yes. You can find me. You can Google me, Malcolm Lovejoy. You can find me on OnlyFans /Malcolm Lovejoy. Mind Bender Supreme.
That's what I found on the web.
Oh.
Siri? That was great.
Mind Bender Supreme on Bandcamp as well. Mind Bender Supreme at Gmail. My web marketing isn't top notch because I'm always kind of reinventing myself and trying to figure out what to do. But I'm kind of easy to find if you really want to find me. And
cool.
Malcolm Lovejoy, Mind Bender Supreme. I'm mostly on Twitter on my Malcolm Lovejoy page on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I have to be a proper businessman and promote my website, spit.exposed. I have an independent website. I'm looking for porn stars all the time.
Cool.
Across the world, Toronto, anywhere. If you want to make love on camera, let's do it. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much, Malcolm. It's a pleasure having you on. And don't forget, it's new episodes every single Sunday. It's Strip by Sia on Twitter, Strip by Sia on Instagram, and my personal Sia Steph on Instagram. And we'll catch everyone in for another episode next week. Thanks, Malcolm.
No problem. Much love. Peace. Love.
Bye. You're listening to Strip by Sia, hosted, produced, and edited by Steph Sia, artwork by Maria Bellandarama, music by Ted D, and photography by Ian Davern.